It is running up along the wall and then goes up into the ceiling and then from there across. The den door to the left is the switch, and above that we have the panel facing into the closet, which has electrical relays and then the power going up. The box has a lot of the wiring for the two-way lighting switches, then power to the left of that, and then along the wall next to the corner is a box with Cat 5. The coax comes in from the top, RG5, all wiring comes in from the top. The two Cat 5s are on the right, and they come down, go through the box, then circle through the bottom opening and then back on out the top, so they can be pulled back out and then extended into the room. The RG6 is just going down to the bottom in that case. Bedroom next to the window, the outlet next to the closet, and the outside wall. We have a wire going through the wall outside, which is for the air conditioner, and that's the power that's coming down from the ceiling, and that just goes outside to power the air conditioning. The other, in the second bedroom, the switch on the wall is for low voltage wiring. It's S10, and the outlet next to that is got many wires, and it's also labeled on the wall that says 14.3 main bath, master bath, and front bed and center bedroom. So the power is coming from here to those and are powered out of that box and then runs up into the ceiling and across. I am now in the bedroom, or the bathroom. That's the common bathroom upstairs. The switch is labeled S11 there, and the outlet next to it, and it has a number of wires running out of it up into the ceiling and across. Switch is also labeled, or the wall along the switch, it says fan L11.2, and the vanity light is L11.1. In the bedroom we also have the fan, which is vented outside separately, and in the ceiling, and we also have the ground wire running along the wall downstairs as well. That's also running upstairs. It then runs from the fan, or that area, and across the ground wire, and then I think downstairs. This is the back side of the wiring through that corner of where the shower is, and it just runs through many wires through there. I'm now at the front entry looking outside, and if you just to the right of the closet, between the studs, go on up above where the closet is, you'll see to the right of the closet there's gray wires that are put out for security. I don't know if that's glass break or motion. It's labeled downstairs. They have also put a white one above the closet, and that also is just looks like 16 inches over between the two studs, run back and forth for glass break or motion sensor as well. There's also stubbed out for the chime that'll be located up in that area. The may have missed that. I'm again in the master bedroom, and this is the Cat 5 network outlet, and above that, between the studs, we also have a wire that's 14.2 for speakers that can be put in there. It comes down from the ceiling and can be pulled out and then put a ceiling speaker in the side of the bedroom towards where the two French doors are. The other wire on the other side is really in there for the great room and not powered from this side, because the speakers in wiring in the master bedroom is run over to an outlet on the other side of the room where the TV and stereo would be sitting on a cabinet on the side of the master bedroom bath. On the left, next to the TV outlet, and that has two speaker wires, two on the right, two on the left, 14.2s, two of them for the master bedroom wall speakers, and the other two for the master bedroom bath speakers. The master bedroom also has an outlet over behind the bed, and then there is also on this wall a phone box put in. On the other side you see a network box that's for the great room, and the other side next to the fireplace, and then there's another power outlet on that side. The switch above that is for the fireplace, and the other one is for turning all the lights on in that as well. The space in the corner also has a wire in it for a speaker, and it is dropped down from the ceiling to be put in for the and then ran over to the outlet just for the stereo system in the master bedroom. I am now on the other side of the master bedroom in the bathroom, and there's the S2 switch box with the two wires for that again run up to the ceiling and across the top and over to the switch that's located on the wall on the other side next to the outlet. And the wiring on that side of the wall is wired across to another outlet over there, and you'll also see that there's wiring for the lighting above, which goes up, and it's stubbed out for the other fixture that will be in. It goes back to the lighting control panel as well. Tub is not in, but the wire is in for that, and that comes across like that. The speaker wiring also for the bedroom is run up between the studs and is dropped down and this is looking from the bathroom side so that it can be pulled out. And then a speaker can be put in this cavity someplace. The other speaker for the master bedroom bath is pre-wired next to the closet entry, and it's again dropped down from the ceiling, and it's fastened to the stud next on the opposite side of the outlet, and it can then be pulled out and put a speaker on the wall in that location. I am now in the master bedroom closet, and here we have a box for the motion sensor, which will then control the light up in the ceiling just by moving in this. I'm now in the great room, and this is the wall from the laundry back of the closet. There's a switch there as on it. The wall on the other side does not have anything in it, and the wall facing the kitchen has a wire stubbed out. The second stud over with a Cat 5. There's also a receptacle on the other side for the stove, which will be gas, and then the other outlet, and then across you got your plumbing. There's wiring run between that wall for outlets on the kitchen side, and more wiring running through that wall for outlets into the living room side, and one on the for the dishwasher down below on the back side next to the heat vent, and there is a switch for the dimmer, and then the on-off light switch as well next to that. I'm now in the kitchen, and this is the switched outlet, or the outlet, and towards the laundry room we have the switch S1 and 2 on the angle wall, and this is the entry into the laundry room, where we have switches located next to the garage door. For the low voltage switches to the left, to the right is the motion sensor to turn on the light in here. Also, you'll see wire ran between above the two systems, which is the white wire for the security system, and a Cat 5 wire put in there by myself, which will be used possibly for future. They go up to the top and then back down. Laundry room outlet for the washer dryer, or washer dryer goes up above, and the plumbing, and the wall between the entry has one outlet on that goes up to the ceiling, and it goes over to the other outlet on the other side of the wall, and then we have the closet. Now in the closet, in the wall towards the kitchen, there's wiring, speaker wiring that goes between, and it's run up and across the end of the soffit. I'm now up above in the kitchen, and there is a box over there, L12-3, for the soffit wiring light, and also speaker wiring, which is run, and I'm looking down at the soffit, and it's run through the soffit, and the wire is labeled for the speaker on this end. The other wire runs through the soffit all the way around, and left on the other side, which I will shoot next. There's also the wires for up here that are used for the future soffit lighting, that are just in this box. You can see they're labeled, and that's the coil of wire as well. That's where it's at an angle. They can be pulled, the speaker wire can be pulled through, the one with the tag on it, to the side if you want it on this side, and then that's the entry part over there. Two island lights. The angled room between the laundry room does not have a light above, but there is room up there that if we wanted to, we could possibly add one. And then there's the soffit over that, of course, which blends in with the soffits around for the rest of it. There is a light up in that one, L13 controlling it, and then around over to the sunroom wall. There's a box at the sunroom end of the soffit for wiring. There's also the speaker wire here, which can be pulled back if wanted through there, and then it goes over to the corner so they can be put on top. The wiring also is labeled and can be pulled out for the wiring for these different lights up above. So this is looking at the wiring from the kitchen side on the wall between the great room. Also over on the kitchen we have an outlet for the refrigerator, and the wiring runs across, and there is a network outlet which has the RG6 going downstairs and two Cat 5s dropping through the box like all the others. The phone is also put in and ran up to the ceiling and across, and a ground fault outlet is located at that location. There's more wiring over to this outlet on the floor, and then to an outlet outside as well as wiring outside and over across the glass door, which then goes to a light that's outside, as well as a box for 3 light switches and the dimmer switch for the kitchen dining room, and an outlet down below. There's also speaker wiring ran in the short wall that goes up and across and then drops down and can be pulled off, so that can be used either for the sunroom or the kitchen. And now in the sunroom, in the angled wall where the TV will go, there is an outlet for power, and also for controlling the fan, which then goes up. And we have a TV outlet put in, as well as the 6 switch. And if you go across to the other side towards the living room, the wall includes this is now from the porch side on up, a 14-gauge wire for speakers, and it's dropped downstairs, and that can be then pulled out and used for an in-wall speaker either in the living room side or on the sun porch. Also on the sun porch there is an outlet there, which is then wired over and across, but we also have the Cat 5 network outlet, which has 2 Cat 5 and the RG6 cable, just like the others. There's also a phone jack on the side next to the outlet, and that again is run and powered from up above the ceiling and across. Outlet is on the right, and it also is dropped hot to the sliding door area, and it's gone across up to the ceiling. There's also wiring for the switch that goes downstairs, and in the wall between the sunroom and the dining room there's a wire 14-2 that's tagged to the side of the wall and up and over the top and then down, which can be used for a speaker. Now in the dining room, and there's a outlet in the wall that's powered from up above. The outlet is in the ceiling for the lighting in the dining room. Power comes across the dining room, down the wall for an outlet, underneath the big window in the living room, and then on over, and then stops there. The opposite side of the fireplace, we have a Cat 5 outlet, which has two Cat 5s and the RG6 run through it. On the other side is the outlet for the phone on the that was put in by others. There's also a cable 14.2 dropped to the basement that comes up the wall that can be used for the great room, and then across and drop back down that can be pulled out to use for a speaker, which is located in the same as the outlet, the Cat 5 outlet is, and the switch where a speaker could be put up above into the great room. That's the door that will go on the garage, I believe, and or entry. And then we have our ductwork. Then we have an outlet in the end of the great room. And to the other side of that, we have the speaker wiring coming up and across, and that can then be pulled in and be used for speakers in that area on this site. I'm now on the sliding glass door, and if you look up here, they have installed the sensor for the sliding glass door, and it is run through the wall and then up and across the ceiling, back over to the other side. I am now in the laundry room, and this is where the door will go in. There's also wire put in there for a sensor to sense if the door has been left open to be drilled through, and it then runs through this side of the stud and then up, and back over, and then back down. I am now in the garage, and this is the garage door, and again they have wired a please drill 3/8" and stub through the door, and this wire is white, and that goes up and over for security. There's also a switch there for the door, and there's an L5 light here for the outside. I'm by the circuit panel, and to the right of that is a blue wire, which I believe is phone source coming in, Cat 5, and the white is the coax for the TV cable, also comes in. We also got the wiring from the box, which comes across in the garage and over into the house. The garage lighting panel is mounted between the studs, and the wiring is run down from the ceiling for each zone, and then it comes in the box on both sides and are all labeled and run across to the different circuits. The Cat 5 that I put in runs to the right, back of the box. This is, again, to the right, the light panel, but it can be pulled through over into this area if needed. And their security wiring is put in there. The brown wire is put in there for the garage door openers. But I'm now up in the rafters above the stair going to the basement, and most of the wiring, the ladder's down below the stairway, and the main wiring going down by the stairs is below me, and we can see the rafters and the wiring running across, over, and through to the other side up into the kitchen, and some all the way across and up. On the other side we've got the wiring outside, the overhang isn't put in. And now I'm looking back into the den area. From the lighting panel, the wiring goes across into that area and across over, as well as I'm above the main bath. Wiring is headed up, networking across. Also, the wiring is headed across and over above the TV antenna, is coiled up for the security over in that area there. I am now above the laundry room, the angled wall, the garage is out there, and a lot of this wiring is going down to the lighting panel below, but also we'll see that there are 3 spare security cables run here up in the attic above the garage. They're hooked over, and then they run back with all the other wiring around to the way over, and then drop downstairs from that angle. So there was 4 spares on the other side way over above the attic entry through the 2nd bedroom, and the cable is the attic coax, our G6, and the other 4 are just spares, 2 white, 2 black. But then if you head back across over, and we then have more spares over here, which happens to be 2 gray and 1 white. I am now, that's the angle wall. If you look at the top, you'll see a white and a gray wire on the angle wall in the that could be used for security, glass break-in, motion sensor, the way it looks. I am now above the kitchen sink light, and in the soffit you can see the wiring across, and the kitchen towards the laundry room, speaker wiring, and then it runs across, continues. This is in the hallway, and the outlet below the cabinet, and there's an outlet there, and it is labeled B half master bedroom and 4 family room, 14.3, and rough in for the basement, I believe. It drops downstairs, as well as if you look on the other side, it comes up, goes through over to the outlet along the family room, and runs that direction. This is in the master bedroom, the French door opening, and there's a wire from the closet that says that it's future 14.3 that's dropped down through, that runs up and up overhead. In the back of the shower, have an outlet, and it runs over to this outlet, which also feeds the light switch, and then goes up to the ceiling. And this also runs up to the ceiling. This is the backside master bedroom in the closet, and there is a dead area where nothing's installed in the back between the French doors and the other area. That there's nothing in that area. The lighting is probably better now to do the this is the wall between the kitchen and the great room. Sunroom wall, the wall outside, in the dining room. Nothing behind the fireplace. Could be cut into, plenty of room back to the corner. There's one wire to the back and up to the switch to control the fireplace. And the wire in there fires the fan, but it comes from the outlet on the other side in the bedroom. There's Cat 5 and the electrical. This is in the hallway to the second bedroom, and you can see the security, or the wiring by the security people for the smoke detector. I'm now in the kitchen, and this is the wall to the sunroom or porch, and there's where the security sensors are wired, both gray and white, for motion to ceiling. This is the wiring going downstairs, where all of the wiring goes up. And then we'll go over top of the closet, the entry, and there is wiring for security. And here's wiring also for, I believe, security of some sort, motion, and one would be motion and one would be glass break. The den, and again above the entry into the closet, you can see dual wires for security are wired above that area. The speaker wiring comes up, goes over, this is in the den, and then up to the ceiling. Today is Halloween, October 31st. David and I have insulated the box. There's wires running straight up and then over. If we need to go down through, we would just feed them down through from the top on the left side of that. And then we could probably open up the wall and get it into it yet. Also, along the wall there is an outlet on the back, but the power for that is run along the wall over to the box in the kitchen, and we could drill through any of that and down. The box on the wall in the garage also covers the porch and the ground fault receptacle in the kitchen that's right there now, and that's labeled on the back of the wall here, and it says that it's garage, ground fault, porch, 14.3 A and B, I think, or red and black for that outlet. The laundry room has also been insulated, and I want to note the area above the entry into the kitchen, that this above there could be put a clock, and that there's an area up above that's covered and could be a interesting storage place up above by putting a clock above the entrance into the kitchen. There's the heating vent in the laundry room, the outlet there, and everything is done in here before it gets filled in. So in the process of wiring the lighting panel, which goes straight up into the ceiling, and not quite through with all that, but we'll be done before evening with that particular box. This is the entry side towards the laundry room, which has been insulated for sound. The outlets are there, and the wiring you can see goes across, and then over to the other one that faces into the laundry room, and that ends up going up into the ceiling where the power comes down through that. Wanted to also record the wiring in the kitchen out towards the garage where the outlet power, how that's gone over, and then it runs over. That's where the ground fault outlet is right now, and then the networking counter height, and power goes down from that outlet downstairs also, and it runs over to the refrigerator that also runs up. into the ceiling. Today is November 13th, and we're getting brick